Hi, my name is Amy Zeller. First and foremost, I'd like to take a minute to thank my audience members for coming. So if you three could just stand up, wave to the camera, and then sit back down, that would be much appreciated. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, I'd like to first begin by breaking ice, and I mean that quite literally. Today I'll be talking about myself, and it's something that I don't normally do and I'm not used to. But yet, for my speech today, I've been instructed to talk about myself. In quite an unusual way as well. I've been instructed to come up with 3 different objects to represent 3 different stages of my life. The first object is to represent my past, the second object is to represent my present, which is going on right now, and the last is to represent my future, which is yet to happen. So to begin, I gathered up these objects and placed them in this box, a treasure box. I picked this because to me, each of these different stages of my life are true treasures. So the first object that I picked to represent my past would be a bar of soap. And I picked a bar of soap because when I was little, I was in constant need of this. I could always be found outside, playing in the mud, playing in water, playing with animals, being just about anywhere where I would be in need of a bar of soap. I can remember every summer morning, my sister and I would go down to the pond and fish for little bluegills. We would never forget my dad's pliers, which we'd use to remove the hooks and then put the fish back into the water. And then later in my middle school and high school years, bars of soap became especially necessary when I'd come home from my volleyball and basketball practices. Let's just say I was in need of a shower. The next object I chose to symbolize my present is this blanket. It's a souvenir from my trip to Peru, but in my mind it's also a souvenir from my first year of college. The trip to Peru was taken with different students from the school that I currently attend, Dakota Wesleyan. I chose to go to Dakota Wesleyan 1 year ago, and now that my first 2 semesters are up, I've had a really amazing time, met some really great people, and went on really great adventures like the one to Peru. So that's why I chose this one, to represent that time. The last object that I chose to represent me is this very expensive, very rare jar of absolutely nothing, which represents my future. And I don't mean that I expect nothing out of my future. What I mean is that I'm not really sure what to expect. Right now I'm majoring in nonprofit administration. I'm taking different internships here and there, trying to find my passion, and I'm not really sure what the next 3 years will bring me, or 10, or 30. But I hope one day that this jar will be full of very interesting people and new interesting places, and hopefully they will all fit. So in conclusion, the 3 objects that I chose to represent me would be a bar of soap to represent my past, this blanket from Peru to represent my present, and this jar of nothing to represent my future. I hope each of my audience members, each of you took away something new that you've learned about me, or at least enjoyed what I had to say. So thank you very much.